What's going on, guys? We're back for week 3 of the SEDL podcast, going over the matchups for week 3. I am here with my co host Drew and David, and we're going to take you through the 4 games that are coming up this week. We're going to start off with this first game here.
Uh,
Yeah,
this is Alice versus what's that team? What's this? I was not ready. Um, Drake Lowe. Number it's Alice and I am. I don't know how you say that correctly, but yeah. Um, Looking at this team, I could see honestly. I think I see some screens. I think Draco gets right.
yeah, I think it does.
It does get screens, yes. He's mini Dragavolt. He gets the screen.
Other
Yeah.
on
Hold on.
Alice's side, though, I think the Torcat and the Dartrix could both come because they both look pretty good here.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
for
they're
sure.
good in general.
Torcat looks really good.
I
I think Torcat
I
can sweep games.
Yeah.
Torcat
yeah,
has
I think like
Trailblaze for March Taunt,
Mm-hmm.
so it breaks through
knockoff
that and
actually
pretty much everything else.
knockoff looks very good into this matchup as well for Alice
Yep.
because
Yeah, Fire.
uh, like knocking off like like any Eviolite mon that they have or like like a choice band item if they have it because I think what I see for the the Munchlax team is that I think they're just gonna try to go like very heavy hitting into Alice's team because how Alice doesn't have too much of a defensive core besides like I guess Eviolite, Dart Dartrix
And the Grimer.
and
No,
The
you're
Grimer's actually
right.
not bad either.
yeah, like just heavy hitters into Alice's team and this battle will probably just break right through and probably Alice won't know what to do. But if if Alice can probably get rid of the Drake Loke and probably the Munchlax, then I think Alice would have a chance. But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
definitely.
really know.
Alice's team is definitely one that wants to hit harder instead of trying to receive hits. Torcat obviously is a game winner on its own always. Hellblaze, Fire Move, and Knockoff pretty much destroys the whole team as is. And even then, you have other somewhat strong hitters. You got your Mankey, you got your Eevee. And Grimer will take a hit or two before going down. For the opposing team, it's, like you said, hitting hard. Kung Munchlax, Reboot, and Elekid all just kind of smack. They're not really resist on this team. So damn, I don't know how to pronounce the name. Someone can correct me. They just smack holes in the team. And if Alice can't win fast enough, then yeah, I think we will see a win on that side. I think Alice has to win really fast to be able to get the win. Yes.
All right. So that was the first.
Also,
Oh, you got more? Go ahead.
one more thing, Wiglet's gonna do something.
Piglet is
It's
not
gonna be
going
a
to do
it's gonna be a weekly thing that
something.
Wiglet's gonna do something.
Keep your memes as dreams. Next.
Okay, yeah, we can go to the next
All
matchup
right,
now.
we'll move on to the next matchup here.
Uh, okay,
This
it
is going to
is
be
m-
SFG Super
me.
Famous Guys, the Rich and Reals versus
Let
David.
me speak. Wait, did you say
No.
his name?
Yeah, you said
Yes, I did.
SFG.
Okay. Okay, well, you guys can say about my matchup because I can't really say much.
Right. So I
Let's
yeah, you go ahead.
East.
Yeah, go
All
ahead.
right. Let's talk about Crocodile and the switch-ins. Crocodile, Crocodile sits on like half of the team, and the two Pokemon that hit Crocodile for like big super effective damage, neither of them want to come in on the Stomping Tantrum. They're 4x weak and they die immediately. Crocodile will sit on the team forever. There's nothing any other Pokemon on that team can do to break it. And the whole game plan for SFG will be to safely get in the Growlithe or the Glimmet to blow it up. And if Crocodile's on the field, SFG doesn't have a win con outside of those two breakers. Outside of that, there's also Pikachu, who does the same thing. It's unfortunate that Grovyle is always going to be faster. Pikachu doesn't want to take a single hit, or else it's pretty much dead. And thing with Sliggoo is a good defensive piece for David's team. He'll take hits from both Glimmet and Growlithe in a pinch. I really, Bloodlust probably doesn't even do a KO. I'm sure. So yeah, SFG is fighting a really uphill battle here. One where there are a lot of Pokemon that you just can't break. Wow,
So
you don't want to.
does Sliggoo get Sap Sipper, or is it only the other Gudra that gets it?
Sliggoo, I don't think.
It,
Oh,
it,
it
it
does.
gets Sap Snipper.
It
Yeah,
does.
it gets it.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Sliggoo could kind of sit on the other half of the team that Crocolore doesn't. Like it's gonna be a really hard defensive pairing to break through between Sliggoo and Crocolore. And then Pikachu can come in and hit things pretty hard. Um, I feel like part of the problem though is like the things on David's team like that hit hard. Like there's not a ton of things that hit super hard like some of the other teams. Um, like the Mastiff can if something like switches out because of the stakeout, but um, like his it's really just his three best Pokemon there that kind of are going to sit on this team and do a lot of damage. And I would say you probably have to just, I guess, bring support around them at that point
Hey,
against.
Pikachu hits hard.
Yeah, Pikachu does, but what about everything else?
That's fair enough, I guess. But like, if you sit on teams forever, you're gonna have a lot of free switching to get in a Pikachu for free.
That's true.
It's a move. I will say that there is a Pokemon on SSG's team that I do think breaks everything, and it's Limit.
Yeah.
Especially with Terra Ground,
Yep.
there is no switch-ins on the team to the Scarf Respects Limit.
Yeah.
That guy will. That's the breaker that SFG needs to win this game.
Mm-hmm. All right, is that all we got for this one then?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay.
All right.
We can move to
Move on to the
the third
next game.
matchup.
Well, this one's mine, so I'll let you guys take it away.
All right. This
Oh,
is Jay versus the LA
Lamb
Lanterns.
Burrito.
Yep.
Okay. First of all, looking here, for sure, defensive dust buffs with like Willow, Pain Split looks very great into this team, especially with those first two mons. And I guess the Choice Scarf Mienfoo probably. And that um I think mostly um think if I can't think words. I think mostly Jay will have this in the bag, kind of, because of his very heavy hitting core, kind of with the Magmar and the Mienfoo. Like
This is
very
probably
good.
one of the few. Sorry,
Like
this is one of the very
it
few
does.
situations where I think I'm gonna have to disagree. I think this is one of the
What do you
teams that is
mean?
more. This is actually one of the teams that I think has the defensive pieces to take on everything Jay has. Between stuff like the Scarf Mindfu, the Q-Fence, and even things like the Slowpoke, because it's more of a physical attacker, its special attack isn't that great. The Marini and the Fletchender kind of take it on. Marini also handles Magmar, Terra. I think that Terra, like, it's either going to be there to check Magmar or it's going to be there to check Dunsparce. And if Toxic and Haze, which are just like common Marini things, it does that by itself. Terra type doesn't matter. You could change it to be whatever you want. And then offensively, Rockorock kinda goes in.
I
It's
mean,
faster
yeah.
than the entire team bar Magmar, who doesn't really want to come in on it, and
I mean,
it goes
yeah.
ham.
Yes, I do agree, but looking at the matchup, that if Jay can mostly get a burn on few of the mons probably, and maybe get Dunsparce set up if possible, or get some pairs off as well. I think like a mon or two can actually like get in and actually break the core to win the game, especially with the Dunsparce setting up with coils probably, and I mean
Dunsparce,
substitute substitute would be funny as well here, but I think mostly just having either some burns pairs or just like heavy hitting would be nice. Just watch out for Terra Teddy Ursa as well.
I think the status would be a lot easier for Amberito to play around because he has a few good defensive checks in Flappy as well as Marini could tear into Electric if that's what he wants to do. It would be pretty good into Slowpoke. It would be pretty good into neutral for
Well,
Magmar. And it would stop paralysis,
what I
obviously.
would what I would also like to say is probably watch out for a lead Shuppet. Happened to me.
Listen, you got Destiny Bonded one. That's slow it down.
Um, but yeah, it mostly looks like an even match depending on what can happen based off of who can do what more the in this game.
Yeah, I think this game could go
Um,
either way. If
yeah.
anyone's gonna take down the final boss, it'll be this.
All right. We can. Are you done? Or
Yeah, yeah, we can move on.
All right, to the
all right, we
last
can
game
move
of the
on to
week.
the fourth matchup. Yep.
Me.
Uh, all right. We have Drew versus what team is this? Versus Absolute Flare. Okay. First of all, wait, is Growl just a grass type? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Never mind.
That's
I was
crazy.
gonna say something and then complete, and then just completely forgot about it. But I mean, it still does things. It kind of stole walls a few things. Um, but I do like the choice scarf maybe on the magneton here or Eviolite, either one, just to throw out some nice try attacks and the thing. I
Try
don't know
taxes.
what other moves it gets. Yeah, just try attacks and I guess
Just
thunderbolts or
electric and
whatever because
steel. That's
yeah,
good.
and then for sure Braixen should come here because I think fire type moves and I think if it has a fairy type move that also looks great here.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I feel like you could see
uh,
some things like
yeah,
potentially like a Sandy Gas or like a Snubble this week, just
yeah.
because they have some defensive capabilities against this team. Um, I'd probably say the
Seashell
Snubble.
Smash.
Right. I mean, yeah, he's got two Shell Smashers over there with his Grottle and his War Turtle.
Yeah,
One day they're gonna shell smash. I won't tell you when, but one day they're gonna shell smash.
This would probably be the game for that
but
Grottle, because what does he do against the Shell Smash Grottle?
yeah, I know.
I'll tell you, this guy knows about shell smash grotto. Let's talk about last season, where I brought Mirror Quilava against that shell smash grotto. Corruption killed everyone.
I do in fact see some type like if you bring some type of shell smash like either one actually looks very great into this matchup, especially probably that Terra or Turtle maybe. Um, I'm not gonna lie either. I think Grimer actually kind of just walls the whole team if you can get rid of that Geodude. Um,
I could just tear it into something that beats it.
I think that also see that might be an issue for your team. I mean, if you could get rid of it, which I hope you could, is the web that they have. Um, because if you don't get rid, actually, not even if you don't get rid of them, Choice Specs, Ghastly actually looks really good into your team if they can get it off, or either the Life Orb. I think that would actually be very scary.
Ashley is
Um,
and will always be a
yeah,
menace.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
that's the only reason I was leaning Grottle if he's gonna pick a Shell Smasher here, just because you can keep War Turtle as like a rapid spinner if you need to get rid of webs, things like that.
Right, right.
It just has more utility outside of Shell Smash this week. I think that I think Grottle gets like I don't know if it gets Earthquake, but it gets some kind of ground move, right? So you could deal with the Electabuzz, and then like his
I
grass resists are. I guess the Quilladin's a pretty good one. I guess the Quilladin would be its best check to it, but I don't really know what coverage Grottle gets. I haven't looked into it yet, but
it
think
does
I'm just
not get. It only gets Bulldoze
I had to deal with Bulldoze.
and Phantom.
yeah, Bolos isn't even that bad. Like it also slows things down.
Bulldoze is good. I will probably think Bulldoze.
It gets very good coverage into just me into this team. It has very good coverage.
Yeah,
E.
Um, we also could see kind of screens if you would think so about it.
yeah.
Or if he
E
wants to be
now.
funny, he or Drew wants to be really funny. He'll bring the Cosmo. But
I just
I
probably
don't know who
like
Cosmom is walling on this team. I don't know.
if he brings toxic spikes and gets rid of the Ghastly, he can do something.
He knows that thing levitates, bro.
I just feel
Or
like
I guess
the problem with Cosmog is it gives free setup to something in front of it, like because it
Yeah,
can't do anything back. Like it literally just has to sit there and get set up on. So like I mean, not that this
right.
team has a ton of setup, but like I think like the Timber I guess could bulk up in front of it. or something like that.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah,
you would rather not have
Osmond's got
that,
to come in on like a banded Pokemon or something.
right?
That's the kind of guy who wants to switch on.
But, I don't really see much. I just think that all these battles that we went over is just mostly based off on, I guess, who can hit each other harder mostly, because, or is this mostly just about speed that you can like hopefully try to get to put damage off, because there's obviously some major threats
Yep.
that are obviously here that you can't really deal with unless you let off like significant damage in the matches. So
Yeah. I also think this could be
Yeah,
a good
those are
week.
some.
I was gonna say this could be a good week for you to bring like webs with the Dewpider, especially. I know the Ghastly doesn't get affected by them, but like your team in general is kind of slower than their team. I also didn't realize how slow things like Grotto. I didn't realize Grotto was 36 speed. It's just like you.
Yeah, my guys.
But it could be a good week to bring webs with Dewpider, if you, especially if you have the rapid spin with the War Turtle and things like that.
For sure, for sure. I definitely like to slow down. I like the bus.
Yeah, even though it still would outspeed half of your team after webs.
Ice
the
Max
thing
breaks
is
and go.
that um is that
Yeah, oh,
kind of
that's it,
wrap up
right?
the
Yeah, those are the four
yeah.
games this week. So yeah, we'll wrap it up here. Check it out. Check out next or last couple weeks if you haven't watched them as well, and then we'll be back for next week for our week 4 uh, breakdowns of the matches. But otherwise, we will see you guys next week.
Bye bye.
I'm not gonna lie.